surprised, especially during this last year of the pandemic, how little kids actually know about their bodies.
And I think we've already seen that social change cannot happen with gradual accretion.
We have been disconnected from our truth, and now we are plugging back in. And plugging in gives us unmeasurable power.
We have 1,000 times more neural connections in our brain than all the stars in our galaxy.
The way we punish people in this country is both morally and economically unjustifiable.
But I think it's impossible to be a sick child and not to feel that on some level.
What is Blackness in a way that's not defined by white supremacy or the white gaze?
Suggestion that you can be ambitious, but not too ambitious. You can be powerful, but not too powerful, right? And when we step out of our lane or outside of our box that someone has, put us in, that's when it makes people uncomfortable.
And so I think in a very strange way, the pandemic has also allowed for a moment of empathy that I hope can begin to soften the ways that we see, that we call for the treatment of people who are incarcerated, to see that many of the actions that we take are quite inhumane.
As a black person in LA in 67, 68, 69, 70, I was thinking, hey, this is my movement. I'm part of this movement. And I knew a lot of black people who did.
There was nothing of trans men, and so literally did not know that trans men existed. And so that was, and I'm not the only one. Anyone like my age on up, that was basically their experience for trans men growing up, just not knowing that anyone else out there felt what you felt, that you were in any way valid, that there was nothing wrong with you.
Guides me every day. Every time I am blessed to open my eyes and start a new day.
And books, studies have shown, can act as a point of connection, a cultural bridge. It can be these books that are bilingual, where you can see two beautiful languages side by side on the page.
Talking about topics like misogyny and bigotry and anti-Asian racism.
What does it mean to be Black? Since what we largely know it to be is something that was defined by whiteness, the one-drop rule or whatever other measures they use to determine that whiteness is pure and Blackness is impure.
And so we come into the world with a certain amount of light that is already inside of us. And the world is always telling us, turn your light down, turn it down a little more, turn your voice down a little bit. But God gave us the human right for us to be able to turn our lights up, to turn our voices up. And so that in that truth, we get the opportunity to eradicate darkness.
But I play to misfits. I sing for misfits. That's who I create art for.
I think fiction does something to the collective imagination.
We wanted to examine the idea of female friendships as an affirming and a beautiful space.
And I think having that undercurrent with a character throughout any given scene presents a level of suspense.
Envision writing as an act of service, and I think that writers, or I as a writer, do it because I want people to feel less alone when they read my books.
If you can love somebody of the same gender in a nation that is committed to showing how much you hate each other and how much you hate yourself, you have committed the most radical, freeing, liberating act imaginable.
Right? And it's like there's still so much resistance there
So there's resistance to ethnic studies. There's resistance to even talking about it in a newspaper column. So, it also says, how it begs the question, how will we move forward if we want to know these histories?
It's my superpower. It's my safety blanket. It's my connection to previous generations. It's my connection to the present. It's everything that I am and everything that I hope to be.
Right, like as adults, we often build up this kind of protective armor where we try to make it so that great injustices we encountered, we're desensitized to them, right? We know how to handle them. But as children, your eyes are so fresh and so raw, not only to like the wonder and the beauty in the world, but also the agonies.
And then if there's any analysis to be done, I think I am free and should give that analysis with my perspective and from my point of view. I think that is legitimate, and I think it's expected, and I think that's what America needs right now.
And I think the important thing is that, change is possible.
This book hit me right at the moment that I needed it. I needed something that was funny and engaging, and it just really got them through.
Common to each of our books is this sense of community when the people stand by you in times of need.
And we are a kind of people, queer people, LGBTQIA plus, all of us, because we all experience that thing. And for that reason, we're drawn to each other in the best ways that we can be. There's unconditional love in us because we want it. So we grew it.